enw fi ydi Nina. Dwi'n newydd yma. Dwi'n byw lawr y stryd Minffordd. Dwi'n newydd symud o'r Swistir, dyna pam. Efo fy mrawd a fy mam. Dwi'n siŵr beth arall i deud, i fod yn onest. Hoff bwnc fi di celf? Unrhyw un arall? Beth amdano ti? Nes i ddeud beth amdano ti. Ti'n yn clywed fi? Ti'n yn clywed fi? Ti'n yn deallt fi? Does neb yn deall beth dwi'n deud? Pam does neb yn deall beth dwi'n deud? Dwi'n siarad geiriau, pam does neb yn deall beth dwi'n deud, a chi gyd jyst yn eithaf yna efo drychau blanc ar eich wynebau. Dwi'n siarad, mae gyda iaith, dwi'n siarad. Français? Vous parlez français? Na? Na? Saesneg. English. You understand English?
Yeah.
Okay. It's so frustrating when you don't understand, isn't it? You're like, what the hell is she saying? I find it quite an uncertain feeling. Sometimes it can almost be a bit frightening, so you don't know what that person's saying. They could be saying anything. But it just makes you feel a bit out of place, like you don't know what's going on. Now, take that feeling you just felt and imagine 5-year-old me. My parents are just divorced, and my home in Switzerland became a small house in the middle of nowhere, Wales. It was a new place, there was new people, new school, new culture, new language, new everything. Everything was different. School was particularly hard. Everyone had known each other growing up. These people hung out with these people. These people hung out with these people. And everyone had their little group of friends, you know? Their parents had known each other, their grandparents had known each other, their great-grandparents had known each other. And suddenly, there I was, the black sheep of the crowd. It's kind of ironic because the more you try to fit in, the more you stand out. One thing that made it slightly more bearable was my teacher, Mrs. Eilidis. Eilidis means snowdrop in Welsh. And she was called that because she was born in February, around the time that snowdrops come out. Something about that fact made me soften towards her. I felt a little bit safer. Now, Mrs. Eilidis taught us Welsh history. Pretty boring for primary school kids. But there was one story that I did remember. And that was the story of Capel Celyn. Now, Capel Celyn was a tiny little village in North Wales, and it was one of the very last Welsh-speaking villages in Wales due to the introduction of the Welsh Not. It was a form of punishment, and it was hung around whichever child's neck had spoken Welsh. And at the end of the day, whoever still wore it was beaten for speaking their own language, their mother tongue. It kind of felt like I was wearing an English knot sometimes because no one understood me. And they didn't want to make the effort, so I had to try and understand them. I had to fit in. Now, Capel Celyn had managed to become a thriving Welsh village after the ban of the Welsh Not, finally, into the 1800s. But that was until 1957, when a bill came out that gave Liverpool the permission to flood the village and create a reservoir. This would entail the flooding of more than 800 acres of farmland and would render another 200 acres unworkable. It would mean the total submersion of the village of Capel Celyn, its school, its chapel, its post office, its burial grounds, and its dwellings. 16 farms would be drowned or rendered useless. 5 miles of roadway would have to be relaid, and 4 miles of railway would have to be relayed, if indeed they were ever relayed. And that's what they did. They drowned the village of Capel Celyn. Every man, woman and child was evicted, the houses turned to rubble, and they drowned it. I sat there for a very long time after I heard that story. I felt like I connected with it almost. That feeling of being forced out of your home because someone else said you had to. Not being allowed to speak your own language because someone else doesn't understand you. The expectation to just fit in, nice and smooth, no complaints. It also made me realise what it meant to be Welsh and how special it was to be a part of it and to grow up there.